Mr. Miller?
Here.
Ms. Conwell? Ms. Conwell is absent at the moment. Mr. Schrein?
Here.
Ms. Baker? Here. There is a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Has anyone signed in for public comment this morning?
No, Mr. Chair, no one is signed in.
Okay. And could I have a motion to approve the minutes from February 22nd meeting, 2017 meeting?
So moved.
Okay, we have motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, nay, and the ayes have it. We have some matters here referred to committee. Clerk, if you could please read the resolution.
Resolution number 2017-0037, authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 06-00382 with K&Z Mutual Realty as successor in interest to Mutual Investment Properties for lease of office space located at 9830 Lorraine Avenue, Cleveland.
Okay, thank you. And is somebody here today, I would imagine here, if you could have your name for the record.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. John Myers from the Department of Public Works.
Thank you, John. Okay.
Thank you. Could be live. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, we're here to seek approval for an amendment for our West Shore Neighborhood Family Service Center, which is located at 9830 Lorraine Road. This is an amendment after a 10-year initial term for 5 years, 5 additional years for the project. This is a facility that's approximately 31,000 square feet. It's for our HHS agencies, largely Children and Family and Jobs and Family, Employment and Family Services, that provides frontline services. The county has been in this site for a number of years. Prior to this last lease, an extensive renovation took place 10 years ago, and that's when this lease was put in place with an automatic 5-year renewal. We're here today to confirm that automatic renewal and seek your approval to continue it forward with that. The entire contract is $2.402 million, approximately $480,000 per year at a square footage rate of $15.32 per square foot.
Okay. You mentioned that it had a renovation initially. Is there any, what's the condition of the building now?
The building's in very good condition. We will be coming back to you. HHS has been advocating for consolidated and expanding training for their people, and we will be coming back to seek authority to do some additional renovations, though, that will facilitate making a portion of this building dedicated to a centralized training facility for the county forces.
Okay. And you said the original amendments for 5 years, and do you foresee, assuming things go forward with renovations and additions, what have you, do you see the need to pick up and move anywhere else, or is this something that with the additions you think will be sufficient for the 5-year period?
Well, and I can, we're in Public Works, we're here to facilitate the various departments and agencies' space and program needs. Ultimately, we defer to HHS in this case to determine what their actual physical and program needs are, and we try and respond to those needs.
Okay.
So I know that they are doing their own analysis to not just so much space, but the model of delivery of services, as they have shared with us and educated us, continues to evolve and change. And with changes in funding and such, they will be looking comprehensively at what their needs are or will be in the next few years.
Okay, and just to reiterate, I know you said this one, what is it per year? What did it amount to?
$480,499. This is in a slight increase. If you go back to the 10-year start of this lease, this is approximately 1.1% increase per year,
Okay.
which is below the CPI. And
Okay. Any questions from the committee members? Okay. And Ms. Conwell?
Through the chair, this is just for the lease, so you
Correct.
talked about you would come before us again in regards to the build-out and all that. Do you have a guesstimate of what that might look like and when you would come before us?
We're anticipating the drawings are being finalized right now and working with the landlord to come up with a complete spec that represents and meets the needs of HHS, and then to have that monitorized to determine a number that it will take to build that out, so we can come back to you and ask for that support and let the HHS advocate for those needs with you.
And all that work will be done inside? It's not for the outside or
Correct.
exterior of the building?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Miller?
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Myers, are we doing all of the improvements ourselves rather than having it folded into the lease cost?
No, as a leased building, the landlord will be doing those improvements. And that's why we'll come back to amend the lease again to recognize those. Once we have a fixed cost for those, we'll come back to you and say, these improvements will be built for X amount for a defined flat number that we will come back and seek your approval to move forward with.
And did the rate that we've paid over the last 10 years include any facility improvement?
This right now, the rate that we're increasing from is a flat base rent that includes the improvements were done 10 years ago as part of a renovation of the building. We have been in the building for a number of years before that as well, but they expanded and completely renovated the building at that time 10 years ago.
So the rate that we've been paying for the last 10 years included the cost of those improvements, is that correct?
Correct.
So with those improvements having been paid for, you would normally expect the rate going forward to be less.
Yes, I'm sorry. The improvements were paid off in the first 5 years of the lease. Just to clarify my answer to your question. So.
Okay, so for
They
the
did
most recent
decrease.
5 years, that was only lease and did not include cost of improvements.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Baker?
Thank you. Just for clarification, is there any part of this expense that the landlord would be paying for?
No, the burden of this is on us. The building is complete, and this is the way we rented it. These design changes are being made exclusively for our program needs.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Schron?
In the event that at some point we come out of the lease and we've done the leasehold improvements, what happens to those leasehold improvements and what's the condition, if any, do we have to return the building to?
We don't, the building would be left as is, and those improvements would are essentially become realty, a part of the building itself.
Okay, but there isn't a provision that says that if the landlord wants the building returned back to the condition before we put it in, the landlord hasn't written that into the agreement?
That's not a requirement, no.
Oh, so he must think that the leasehold improvements are sufficient to add value, that he sees that as being a nice win by itself then?
Well, I think he thinks that will be likely to be, I can't speak for him, what he's in his mind. I'm guessing he's assuming that we'll wish to stay in the building once it's suitable to our program needs.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Schron. Any other questions? Okay, Ms. Conwell?
Follow up, what is the dollar amount per square foot?
The new dollar amount is $15.32 per square foot, which includes complete maintenance and operations of the building.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. And you're looking for this on second suspension?
We would ask that, Mr. Chairman, yes.
Okay. Can I have a motion to refer this to committee? I'm sorry, to council, full council, under second reading suspension of the rules?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to refer this to full council under suspension, second reading suspension. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
Okay, is there anything miscellaneous business before the committee this morning? Okay, seeing none. And has anyone signed in for public comment?
No, Mr. Chair, no one is signed
Okay,
in.
with that, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And Public Works Committee has adjourned.